If you've lost weight before and put it all back on, I want you to hear this. Losing the weight probably wasn't the thing that you got wrong, because most fat loss advice only teaches you how to do one thing: eat fewer calories. Yeah, at some point, we do need to be in a deficit to lose weight, but that's just step one. The problem is, most people treat step one like it's the entire fucking plan. They diet, they lose 10 kilos, they celebrate, then what? Nobody taught them what happens next. So today I want to show you the 4 stages I use when I think about sustainable fat loss. Not 4 hacks, not 4 supplements, not 4 foods that apparently destroy your hormones. 4 phases. And if you spent years losing weight, regaining it, and wondering why you can't seem to make it stick, I think this will explain a lot. Now let's start with the boring bit. If we're trying to lose body fat, we need to create an energy deficit. You need to be consuming less energy than your entire body is using over time. Now that's just physics, but this is where people fuck it up. They think if a deficit works, a bigger deficit must work better. So calories get slashed, carbs disappear, they're doing cardio 6 days a week, they're starving by Wednesday, and then standing in the pantry eating Nutella or peanut butter by the spoonful on a Saturday night. That's not a fat loss strategy. That's a countdown. The deficit just needs to be large enough to produce progress, but manageable enough that you can actually live your life. And we don't determine whether it's working because the scales didn't move this morning, because your body weight fluctuates. Food, water, carbohydrates, salt, bowel contents, training, and for women, the menstrual cycle can create substantial changes in daily scale weight as well. So I care far more about trends than individual weigh-ins. Give me a few weeks of data and let's see what your body is actually doing, because the objective isn't lose as much weight as humanly possible. The objective is lose enough fat while preserving as much of the good stuff as possible, which brings us to step 2. Now this might be the most overlooked part of fat loss, because I just don't want you weighing less. I want you coming out the other side with muscle, strength, energy, and a body that just functions better. That's why 2 things become incredibly important: protein and resistance training. As we all know, protein gives you the building blocks that your body needs, and resistance training gives you a reason to keep the muscle it already has. And no, that doesn't mean you need to become a bodybuilder. You don't need to live in the gym. You don't need a 6-day training split. You need an appropriate training stimulus that your body can recover from consistently over time. Then we just build everything else around it: walking, sleep, fiber, water intake, fruits and vegetables, carbohydrates, dietary fats, foods that you actually fucking enjoy and want to eat. Because if your fat loss plan requires you to avoid bread, birthdays, and restaurants for the rest of your life, I've got some really unfortunate news for you. Eventually you're going to eat bread, have a birthday, and go to a restaurant. The plan needs to survive contact with your actual life. And this is where step 3 becomes incredibly important. This is the phase the fitness industry does an absolutely shit job of teaching. You need to learn how to stop losing weight. Sounds pretty ridiculous, doesn't it? But think about it. Someone spends 6 months dieting. They hit 75 kilos. Everyone celebrates. Transformation photo, before and afters, done. Except they're not done, because now they've become exceptionally good at losing weight. They haven't actually learnt how to become a 75 kilo person. Those are different skills. So now we need to deliberately practice maintenance. Food comes up, training performance can improve, hunger may settle, you have more flexibility, and yes, the scales are probably going to go up. But that doesn't mean you've automatically regained body fat. Eating more food literally means there's more food inside of you. More carbohydrate can mean more stored glycogen, and glycogen is stored with water. Seeing the scale move upward after a diet doesn't mean, oh, I've fucked it, I better start dieting again. This phase teaches you something way more important. It teaches you that you can eat more food and maintain your progress, and psychologically, that's enormous. Because I don't want you spending the next 20 years terrified of gaining 800 grams. I want you understanding what your body is actually doing. Maintenance is not the boring bit between diets. Maintenance is where successful fat loss becomes a lifestyle change. Now we change the target. Instead of constantly asking, how can I weigh less? We start asking, what can this body actually do? Can we get stronger? Can we make our training better? Can we eat enough food to support performance, rather than trying to survive on as little as possible? For plenty of people, staying around maintenance while getting stronger is absolutely fine. For someone whose specific goal is maximizing muscle growth, eventually we start moving into a small calorie surplus. And yes, that may also mean the scale goes up, and that's okay, because you stop believing that lighter automatically means better. We're building something now, and this is the part I wish more people got to experience, because fitness stops becoming punishment for the body you have and starts becoming an investment in the body you're going to need in 10, 20, or 30 years' time. Here's what I want you to understand. This isn't step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. Congratulations, you finished fitness. Life doesn't work like that. You might maintain for 2 years. You might decide you want to lose another 5 kilos. You might spend 6 months getting stronger. You might go to Italy for 3 weeks and come home heavier because you ate your body weight in pasta. Good. I hope it was fucking delicious, because the most valuable thing you've developed isn't abs. It's not a number on the scales. It's just knowing what to do next. You don't panic. You don't need to detox. You don't punish yourself. You don't announce that you're going to start again Monday. You just return to your normal behaviors and decide which phase makes sense now. That's what sustainable fat loss should eventually give you. Competence, not dependence. So if you're trying to lose weight right now, remember, lose, protect, maintain, build. Create the deficit, protect your muscle, learn to maintain the result, then build a stronger body from there. Because losing weight isn't supposed to be something you spend your entire life doing. Eventually, you need to learn how to live. If this helps you understand fat loss differently, subscribe. And if you've been stuck losing the same 5 or 10 kilos over and over, and you want some help actually breaking the cycle, there's a link below to apply for coaching.